Hey guys, coldbrew here. Welcome to another Race Challenge video, guys. The disappointment is there. You guys know why I'm so disappointed, because I was expecting that the tournament that we have going on right now was gonna be a Draco tournament. So the top in the 100 bracket would have picked up Draco, but of course you guys know it. The actual reward is a Thane. So who cares about Thane? Not me for sure. There's so many people who got disappointed with this, and it's obvious on the amount of players who are actually participating. So that's what you want out of your 12th anniversary plarium. Yes, having nobody participate in a tournament, and this is what's happening. The only people who are actually participating and fighting for the top position are the global leaderboards, and there's honestly many players who are trying to get into first, and I don't know what's gonna happen. There's these people just wailing out the top 10 or so with over 25,000 points, with the number one having 63,000 points in the first like 12 hours of the tournament, which is insane. If you ask me, insane amount of points. I think they've been non-stop using their brews and chickens and all that just to get that Draco. These guys better not have a dupe Draco already, because it will be insane to be going for Draco when you have him already. So even so, I don't even know how many points you'll need by the end of the 5 days to pick it up. It's definitely not worth it. I was thinking of it the first couple of hours when the points were still at about 20,000 on the first, and then 10,000 and something on the other two. And I was like, okay, should I push for it with my own account? Because I do have resources, but I don't have the time to push for a global top 3. And honestly, look at this. The top 30 or so may have been into the possibility of getting first, may have been the contenders. But I mean, if you're at 16,000 points, there's no way that you can go in and fight for the number 1, number 2, or number 3, especially number 1 or number 2. Number 3 is the one that everybody of these guys will be competing for, but number 1 and number 2 is pretty much given to these two guys. And I don't know what Plarium was thinking. I'm not going to go into more on that. I think they totally dropped the ball on this. They could have done it way differently. So let's say you've got 50 players. Let's say you've got 100 players in the global leaderboards trying to get that Draco. Okay, let's say it was different, and they gave a Draco to the top 100 players in the world. Let's say it was like that. They would have made more money than what they've done right now. Let's say they gave it to just the top in the local brackets. They would have made more money, because even if one person spends $100 and you've got 10,000 people of active players trying to get a Draco, they spend $100. That's $100,000, okay? And in the global leaderboards, you've got what, 100 players? Best case scenario, you will need to get each and every one of them to spend $1,000 to get that $100,000, which will not be the case, because unless you honestly think you've got the chance to pick up the reward, you won't be spending that much money. Like these top 20, I might say, might still think about it, but top 10 for sure might still think about it. Top 5, but I don't think the top 100, top 50 would spend the same amount of money after tomorrow. So they honestly, at least for an event, they totally dropped the ball. They failed at this. Maybe they don't want to have too many players with the Draco. I don't know. I do have my Surnake. It wasn't like a huge game changer to my account. It's a great champion to have, and I managed to get it through a champion training event. So that's that. And yeah, I'm not gonna go over it more. It didn't change the meta. Not everybody is using Surnake in the arena. It's not a total game changer to your account. It's a fantastic champion to have, but it totally should have been the reward for top 100 in every local bracket. Going to the second part of the video, we've got news for a next fusion coming into the game. So it's going to come on the 7th of June. So in about 5 days, we're going to have the start of this brand new fusion. It's going to be an old school fusion, which means you're going to need to pick up the champions required, ascend them, get them to level 40 for the rares, and then get the epics to level 50 fully ascended in order to pick up this guy. It's going to be a brand new dwarf, and let's look at his kit, because this one will be again a champion through a fusion. Is this going to be worth it? Let's go over the skills very quickly, and give you my thoughts on this guy. Herndeg, Lethal Lust is his A1, grants an extra turn and decreases the cooldown of Stasis Strike skill by 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. So very specific. If it has enemies to kill, then that's when you get some bonus out of this. His A3, this Stasis Strike, is basically attacks one enemy, fully depletes the target's turn, which is fantastic. And then will also attack all enemies if the first attack is critical. So you need crit on this guy. This AoE attack has a 75% chance of placing a 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns. This probably goes to 100%. Will also place HP burn debuff for 2 turns after the attack on the enemies whose turn meters are below 30%. So this is pretty huge, by the way. Pretty huge, if I would say, in terms of the HP burn. HP burn helps a lot in so many areas of the game, and it's another way for you to apply HP burns. If you don't have a champion like a Drexar, then this guy will be great for a spider as well. But it does have the conditional being the turn meter amount. If you've got other champions that can deplete turn meter and then have this guy go, so let's say you've got a Razin and then this guy goes with his A3, he will actually apply HP burn as an AoE to all the enemies. So this skill is quite significant, but it won't work in areas like the spider in terms of getting this decreased cooldown when you get a kill, because you won't be getting the kills with the A1. Then this A2 attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense and a 50% decreased accuracy. Both are great debuffs. Basically, this champion applies both a decreased defense and a weaken, but in 2 separate skills. Definitely solid champion. Probably this goes to 100% when you fully book it out. So solid way to apply both a decreased defense and a weaken if you do need it, an HP burn, and also that extra attack. And then finally, he's got a passive, fills these champions' turn meter by 10% every time they're hit, occurs once per hit, also fills the champion's turn meter by 20% whenever an ally dies. So this looks like a possible solid skill. Just in general, just getting turn meter when you're hit, getting turn meter when somebody dies. I guess he just goes in for just doing more damage. He's not a support, so this would have been better in a kind of support type champion where they would get extra turns when somebody died, so they could go in plus the mastery and just get somebody revived possibly, or get some healing going on the other allies, and just a support passive, in my opinion. Nothing too much about that. So that's in terms of the fusion, guys. Let's prepare yourselves for the fusion. Don't go too crazy about Dracomorph. You're not gonna get it. I'm just saying it out there. If you're watching my video, it means you're not a whale. If you were a whale, you wouldn't be watching my video right now. You would be the worst kind of the most disappointing kind of tournament that I could have expected from Plarium. Nothing really could have disappointed me more than this, like a top 3 global for Dracomorph. They've honestly been dropping the ball lately in terms of events, and they are not stepping up and showing us that they want this game to be better. So unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm actually going to be saving money, not going to buy any packs, not going to be using my resources. I'm going to be prepared for the next fusion the following week. I'm actually going to be on holidays when this fusion starts. I don't care about the fusion starting when I'm on holidays. I'll just start it when I'm back. So whenever I'm back, that's when I'm gonna be doing the grinding, and I'll probably get the fusion either way, even if I miss 1 or 2 days of the event. So this was the video, guys. Are you still gonna go for the Fane? Do you really need Fane for your account? I mean, she's a great champion, but honestly, there's better champions out there. Solid champion for champions out there. Solid champion for stuff like an unkillable. In terms of damage, you can actually do a 1 key, but there's so many champions that do the damage, and it's honestly right before a fusion, not worth the trouble. Don't go for it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already.